What's going on, everybody? So today I have a controversial topic. We're talking about set items and are they nerfed? Now, TLDR right off the bat, guys, I see no reason why they would have nerfed it. I have no confirmation from Blizzard. I don't think that they did nerf it. But we're going to look at some of the data that some of you have basically given us, some people on Reddit, as well as my own personal experience. I've run probably around 100 dungeons or so since the new update. It's not a crazy sample size, as well as the data that we're going to look at, but not anyone that I've seen claiming this has run enough dungeons for me to actually listen to what they're saying as actual criticism. It's more like tinfoil hat, and that's what often happens when we have a new patch. People always find something to hidden nerf or something like that, and unless we get official confirmation from Blizzard or we run literally thousands to tens of thousands of runs, we will never know. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I made this video talking about post-patch criticism, and mainly my main issues with that were, what are they going to do in the future? One, two, are they going to address the server issues, which I feel like they have a little bit. I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed that. And then three, what are they going to do about future potential PvP residents, things like that. Those are my criticisms. And so many of you have mentioned set item drop rates. Look at this. First off, Vale, you should test the dungeon drop rate again. It seems to be very bad. My group only got 2 total after 30 runs together. Very low after the update. Now, just to give you guys some context, I've run over 500 runs of boosted and non-boosted in a test across a couple of weeks. And in those test results, non-boosted ended up around 15 to 20% drop rate. Again, I'm doing a range here because I didn't have a big enough sample size. And then for boosted dungeons, it was about 20 to 25% drop rate. So 2 out of 30 is really, really low. That's less than 10%. I don't doubt that that's actually true what they got, but I highly doubt that the dungeon drop rate is different. This is what we call RNG. And I feel like a lot of people are experiencing the RNG and having a bad run of it and then commenting. Again, it seems they cut set drop rates. They dangle the carrot with guaranteed legendary. I've seen YouTubers testing, it appears around 11% now. May be worth additional testing since patch release. I will actually love to do additional testing, and maybe I'll follow up with a video in a couple of weeks from now. I personally have been really busy because of the holidays, and I actually just got a new puppy, and you know, I still have a baby, so yeah, I mean, I'm a little busy, but I definitely would like to go ahead and test some dungeon drop rates myself and give you guys a whole clip of it. I want to do at least 500 to give you guys that kind of test going. So I'll do that over the next couple of weeks, but I wanted to address this beforehand and then continue onward. Another comment here. A couple of users already commented here, but I fully support their feedback. Something has changed with the screen set item drop rates. It's done close to 200. It's somewhere 1 out of 8 to 1 out of 10. Okay, and they said they could silently nerfed it. There's a bug or something like that, and you can see here, if you do 40 Hell 7 runs and do 10 or more green drops, I'll personally sponsor a pre-purchase for Diablo 4. If you get 9 or less drops, you sponsor the Diablo 4 pre-purchase yourself. Now, that seems like just pure gambling. It's actually a funny idea, but it's RNG, so there's very likely I could get 9 or less drops just because. And you can see here, assuming you're doing 40 runs and my drop rate is correct, 20-25%, it's very likely the average is 10. So I have to be a slightly below average to lose, or average to slightly above average to win, which seems like a very tough gamble. That one's definitely rough. So I don't know if I'll do that, but thank you for the idea. I will be testing the drop rates a little bit more. And you can see if we continue onwards here, let me see if there's any other comments. For the drop rates for set items, most days I go 20 plus without a single green. Continue onward, more. No way the drop rate is 25%. It's around 10% at full Magic Find. Magic Find doesn't change set drop rates. This is a fake news. So that this, like, I've seen a lot of people say this is just not true, and so this is the reason why I read these comments. And it seems like people are suffering from just poor RNG, and then because of that recency bias, they go and post on YouTube or on Reddit, and then because people see it on YouTube and Reddit, it reaffirms their already, you know, poor perspective on the game. Like, hey, they need to fix this. This is a bad thing. And then because they have that negativity towards the game, they get reinforced by all the people around them. And then it turns into this spiraling thing where everyone's dropping comments, everyone's putting Reddit posts out, and then everyone has to go back and test it. And this happens all the time. This isn't just set items. It happens with the bestiary, which, you know, I did more tests on. It happens with the open world farming. It happens with Elder Rifts. It happens literally with every single thing in the game. Even legendary crests, people are claiming that the drop rate is lower and the pity doesn't exist, which, you know, I personally haven't tested to that. So, you know, they may be right, but the thing I'm saying is all these things are RNG, and people, without doing like thousands of tests, you really can't draw a proper conclusion, which is why I always give a caveat whenever I do videos like that, because I can't even draw a proper conclusion. Even if I'm doing 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 runs, it's still not enough. But the other thing here I want to mention is those are just the comments. This is why I made this video in its entirety, because there's so many people thinking that they nerf dungeon drop rates. And you can see this guy, this is the third post like this in the dungeon drop rates, and he said that he's doing a ton of testing on this. Just to give you guys an idea, this is one of the more upvoted posts on Reddit, and I figured, oh, well, this is the perfect time to go over this because, well, this guy's doing a bunch of Hell 6 dungeons, and I can kind of combo it with my personal experience and see what he's got. So first off, we have the previous run's Dungeon at Destruction's End, Temple of Mari boosted, and these are the non-boosted ones as far as I can tell. So the non-boosted ones, from what I have seen, is a 10 to 15% drop rate. And just look at this, guys. This is a perfect example of what I mean by RNG. This guy did 100 runs and got 4 legendary items and 2 set items. That is terrible. That is absolutely atrocious if this is true. Obviously, I can't say it's true 100%. I'm not gonna say that they're lying, but I personally can't verify the integrity of the content. But I don't think someone's going on Reddit and just randomly lying about their posts. I mean, that'd be kind of cringe, yeah. So we're just gonna take it at face value. But then look at the one above, 23 set items in 100 drop rates or 100 runs. That's better than boosted dungeons oftentimes. And if you combine that, that's 200 runs with 25 set items in 200 runs, okay? Which is, it ends up being around a 10.5% drop rate, which is perfectly in line with non-boosted dungeon runs that I've tested in the past. And who knows, you could run another run and get 15. You could run another 100 and get another 30. It all is RNG. And if I click on these other posts here, ooh, that's a big white screen. Oh, these are boosted, right? So this guy did 100 and got 19 sets, and this guy did another 100 and got 5. You can see here, if we combine them once again, we're gonna get about 24 in 200 runs, which is again about 10.4% drop rate, which is on the lower end for sure. But boosted and non-boosted, now boosted is less drop rate than non-boosted. This is just what I'm saying about RNG. It's hard to verify. Now, what is it worth testing? 100%. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do as many dungeon runs as I possibly can and go ahead and chart them. And honestly, I've never even seen this program, but it might even be way cooler to go ahead and chart that for me. But when I'm going through here and I see all these posts, I don't really see a lot of realistic, factual data that people are charting as they go through. So I wanna warn people, and I wanna say, there is no official statement, and we've asked that they've nerfed drop rates. Going over to this next post here, you can see 100 runs here, 1900 runs, 4 set items. Again, I'm not sure if this is 100%, you know, perfectly charted or what, because there seems to be a trend where his first 100 are way high and his second 100 are way low. You know, maybe there's something there. Maybe he's factoring in the guaranteed set item per day. I don't really know but what this is in terms of testing. I doubt that that's the case, and he's including the 1 per 3. I don't know. Again, it's hard for me to verify all this, but this is perfectly normal. Like, let's say all of this wasn't fabricated or anything like that. This is 100% normal. Heck, I've gone over 900 dungeons without a single Bithus piece. It just happens sometimes, guys. It just happens. It's just RNG. So I wouldn't say that they're nerf drop rates, but I will return to this topic in a couple of weeks for you guys. In my personal 100 runs, I didn't perfectly chart it, but from what I remember of it, it was about 22 drops I believe that's what it was. It was around 20 to 25. I want to say 22, but it was, I'm just going to say 20 to 25. Drops maybe a little bit lower, like 19 to 25. Again, I'm not 100% sure. The amount of legendaries I got were actually a lot. I think I got 6 legendaries in the total, and that's because there was the orange elite spawning. So I got a couple of free guaranteed legendary items. But I have higher magic find for the legendaries, and of course I run only boosted dungeons for the most part. I don't like running non-boosted dungeons because it feels like a waste of time to me. So that's my personal anecdotal evidence over the course of about 100 runs. It might not even be 100 runs, it might have been like 110, 90 or so. So I don't really have personal factual data to share with you all, which is why I'm not going to make a claim that it's nerfed or not. All I'm saying is that there's a lot of RNG in these things, and there's been no official word from Blizzard, and there is really no reason why they would nerf it and not say anything, because they've done a ton of nerfs and they've always said something about it in terms of the hidden bug fixes, which is kind of hidden, but you just have to look for it. And I've been looking for it. They haven't posted anything there, or they post it in their patch notes directly. So if I haven't seen it there, I'm not going to believe a bunch of people saying one thing and a bunch of other people saying another thing. It just doesn't make much sense to do so. So let me know what your experiences are in the comment section down below, though, guys. I have had past experiences. It's the minority, right? Most of the time it's just RNG, but there are some situations where some people are onto something, where they've detected some sort of hidden mechanic in a game. So it's not to completely dismiss you all, which is why I'm going to do the testing myself and do about 500 runs, which isn't even perfect there. But still, I want to test it, and I want to hear what all your experiences are in the comment section down below. And for all of you that dropped comments before you reach this part, oh my goodness, this guy, it's totally nerfing. This guy's making me feel bad about my RNG or whatever. You know, it is what it is, guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully again in the next week or two I will have 500 runs completed, and that'll be nice because I hope to do it in Health 7, where I can actually get my Vithu set up for that 480 Paragon, which I already made a video about. But hopefully you guys are doing that same thing. See you all tomorrow.